In this tutorial, we're gonna get more familiar with the offset formula in Excel. So what does the offset formula do? Basically, you will start at a certain cell and then you can go either down or up, right or left, till you reach another cell or a group of cells, and then you can do your operation. Now you'll tell me, why do I need offset? Because I can just normally use the range that I want and do my Excel operation. Well, there are some cases with moving ranges where this formula will become very handy, and professional users or more advanced users of Excel will know this formula. So let me show you how it works with a live example. We're gonna go to this data sheet, and here we're gonna start with this sales data. So here I have the months and the sales, and what I want is the sales of the last 3 months. So I need the sum. So basically, if I want to do this manually, I'm just going to do this and then select the last 3 months, close my parentheses, press enter, I get the number. Now the problem comes if I get a 40 here in May. I have to go back again, select the range, and then move it down, and then do it, which is not sustainable because it's a manual way of doing things. So this is where the offset formula will come into play, because this formula will allow me to identify the last 3 cells that have data in it. So we're going to start with the offset formula and then we'll put it in the sum formula. So let's start. If I do offset, I need my reference. My reference is my starting cell. So here as an example, I'm going to take B1. Then it's the number of rows I want to go down or up. If you want to go up, it will be minus, minus 1, 2, 3, etc. If you want to go down like here, it will be positive numbers. So here I want to go down 1 row to go to 94, comma, then my columns, how many columns do I want to go to the right, which would be positive numbers, or to the left, which will be negative numbers. Here I am at the right column, so it will be 0. And then if I just close this parenthesis, I get 94, right? So that's a simple example. If you see here, I had 2 optional arguments, and I'm going to use them for this example. So I have the height and the width. The height is the number of rows I want to take into account. If you don't put anything here like I did before, it will assume that you want 1 row. Same for the width. The width will be the number of columns you want to take. So if you don't put anything like I did, it will assume it's 1 column. So in the previous example, I took 1 column and 1 row, which means 1 cell. So in this, I'm just going to type them, 1 column, 1 row, and I get the same thing. Now, if I go down, and I go down 2 instead of 1 here, for rows, I'm going to get my 24, and so on. So how do I get more than one number? Because here I need the last 3 numbers. So if I type 3 here, don't press enter if you have an old version of Excel. If you have a new version of Excel, like me, Office 365, it has array formulas, it will work. But for older versions, you're going to get an error. So if you have an old version of Excel, you can do Control Shift Enter, and then you get 24. If you go back in this formula, you can do F9, and then you can see 24, 99, and 60. Why? Because I took 3 numbers. If I do escape, you can see I took 3 numbers. In the rest of this demo, I'm going to use Office 365, so I'm just going to do enter normally, and you see I get the numbers here. So you don't need this other technique that I showed you. Now the problem I'm facing is, how do I know that I have to go down 2 in this case? And if I have another number, I need to go down 3. Well, basically, what you could do is use a count formula or a count A formula. Count will just count the number of cells that has numbers. Count A will count the number of cells with numbers or text. In this example, it won't matter. I'm going to use count A, but it depends on your specific scenario. And I'm going to put a link in the description to see those two formulas in case you're not that familiar with them. So let's change this to and do count A, open parenthesis. So here is my values. So I'm just going to select the whole range because my data will go up to December. And then I'm going to close the parenthesis and press enter. If you see here, I got my 60 and then I got my 00. Let's see how this formula works. We're going to go to formula, evaluate formula, and you can see here what it will do. It will count the number of cells with either a text or a number. In this case, it's 4. So my offset formula will start from B1, go 4 down, and then take 3 cells. So it will take 60, May and June, which has nothing. So let's try it, and you can see I get 60. Obviously here you cannot see the other numbers because evaluate formula will show you just one number. So let's close, and let's think. Now I get 60. I want the sum of my last 3 months. So what can I do? Basically, instead of taking the numbers from 60 down 3, I can take the numbers from 60 up 3. So I can go here, and instead of plus 3, I can use minus 3. And if you see now, I get 24, 99, and 60. So now that I have my numbers, I can add a sum, wrap it, and then close the parenthesis. Here, no matter what version of Excel you have, you don't need to do Ctrl Shift Enter. You just need to do Enter, and then you'll get the sum, which is 183, which is the sum of those 3 numbers. Let's add a number to see if it works. So here I'm going to add 40 for May. If you see, we get 99, 60, and 40, which is 199. And it's great because it's working. Next, let's look at the same thing, but now your data is in this way. So we're going to try first the offset formula, equal offset, open parenthesis. My reference now is here, comma. How many rows do I want to go down or up? Basically here it's 0. Why? Because I want to go actually with columns. So 0, columns, we're going to do 1 for now, then comma. What is my height? The number of rows I want to take. Here again, it's the opposite of what we had here. Actually, I want 1 row, and then my width is 3 columns. So I'm just going to do it like this for now to show you. I'm getting 94, 24, and 99. What I need to do is change my column with a count A, because this will tell me where do I have to start. So I'm just going to do count A, and then I'm just going to select the whole range, close the parentheses, and if you remember there, as soon as I reach the last number, I need 3 prior. So I'm just going to change this to minus 3. And you can see we get 24, 99, and 60. Let's wrap it around sum, and then let's close the parentheses, and you get 183. Let's put 40 here. You can see you get the same number. Now let's do something a bit different. I have here a month, so for example January, and I want to sum the sales of the next 3 months. So if I put Jan, I want to sum those 3 numbers, which are 183. So how do I do this? Basically, let's start with a normal offset formula. So we do offset, open parenthesis. My reference is here. How many rows do I want to go down? Let's put 1 for now. Columns 0 because I don't want to move any columns. I'm in the right column. And then let's do the height 3 and the width 1. So I want to take 3 data points going down. So this is what I get. Now the problem is I want to identify where should I start. So for this, instead of this 1, you can use a match formula. So let's use a match formula. If you're not familiar with match, I'm going to put a link again in the description so you can see this lesson. We're going to open the parenthesis. My lookup value is January, comma, my array is here, and then my match type is 0. So here it will tell me where is my January. In this case is the first row in my data set. So if I do enter, you can see that now I get 94, 24, and 99. If I put Feb, you get 24, 99, and 60, which is great. Let's go back to Jan. The only problem I have is that I want the next 3 months sales. So here, if I have Jan, I want Feb, March, and April. So what can I do? I have this match formula, which is returning 1 actually. I can add +1, and this way I get the next 3 months' sales. So let's add some before it, and let's put a parenthesis at the end, and there you go. You get the sum of those 3 numbers. If I do, for example, Feb, you get 199, which are the sum of those 3 numbers. So please let me know in the comment section whether you used offset before and whether you like this explanation and you think it will be useful for your calculations later on. For example, when you're trying to analyze sales data or stock market price, for example, moving averages and so on. And as usual, please like this video and subscribe to the channel.